Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Johnny Buzzkill here. I want to talk to you today about my little minimalist, not really bug out bag, but more of a kind of a day kind of bag. Something that if you're out hiking, you might want to use this or utilize some of the stuff that's in here. Or maybe even a bug out bag, like a small kind of version of the essentials that you might need while you're out in the wilderness. I don't know about urban survival or whatever, but definitely the way that I kind of look at it is, you need a couple things for survival. Fire, shelter, food, and water. I mean, I think there's probably some more things that some people might think are essential, but I think for survival situation, shelter, food, and a way to prepare your food, fire, water, water purification. And this bag kind of helps encompass most of that stuff. I've made other videos with just tons of crap. I've got a bag in my car, my wife's got a bag in her car, kind of like a 3-day bag. There's some stuff in there, food, change of clothes, shelter, got little emergency bivy sacks, like all kinds of stuff in there. But that stuff, you don't want to carry too much stuff. If you're out hiking or had to go on a long distance, you wouldn't want to be carrying a 50-pound pack or just a bunch of crap. This, if you're out hiking, going out shooting, or kind of a day trip, this kind of thing is, for me, almost perfect for what you might need to build shelter, start a fire, and maybe cook food or do what you got to do out there. So basically, this is just a normal camel pack. Small little camel pack's got a little zippered pocket here. Kind of just something like this. You just throw it over a little chest strap there, kind of keep it down, cinch it down. Got your tube for water here. Yummy water. Real simple stuff in here. For me, first thing down here at the bottom, I'll tell you, gloves. I mean, if you're building a shelter or you're doing something out, out in the elements, even keeping your hands warm or keeping them, from getting roughed up with rocks, tree limbs, whatever it is you're doing building a shelter, gloves are handy. These things weigh an ounce, 2 ounces, I don't know, nothing, right? I got some paracord, some 550 cord here. Not your cheap crappy twine you buy at Home Depot or some Lowe's or some crap like that. This is 550 cord, and this stuff is worth its weight in gold. I love 550 cord. There's so much stuff you can do with it. Lashing, making snare traps, you can bandage yourself up, you can make a sling for your arm. If you got hurt, you could, all kinds of stuff. I mean, 550 cord's awesome. I got my little fire starter flint steel, some other 550 cord that I made, a little lashing for that. So fire starter flint steel. I've got my, this knife I bought at Big 5, I think, for, I don't know, it was on sale for like 10 bucks or something. Probably not the best knife you could get, but it's obviously, full tang kind of single piece blade, one thing. I've wrapped with paracord. I've done the Cobra style braid around that to use for a handle. But if I needed that, I could, utilize this cord. Inside the 550 cord, there's also, it's 7-strand. So inside this paracord, there's 7 strands. You could use that for smaller snares or whatever you want. So this, I figure I would use for batoning. Take this, beat it with a stick, help you cut through some stuff, or, get your firewood, or help you build a shelter. So the knife itself is pretty good. You use this also for, maybe skinning animals, or a spear to catch them, or whatever, stuff like that, Animal, gut it, clean it, cut it up, eat it. Also, on this thing, on the sheath itself, there's another little tiny mini flint steel, which I haven't used too much. I'll probably start my house on fire. But this one I haven't used too much. It's kind of a spare. But yeah, this one, that's a good little thing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, well, not as far as I'm concerned, what I think is essential is being able to build shelter and have fire. And this knife and the sheath that it comes in, I mean, those are two of the most important things right there, just in this knife. So the knife itself is a good kind of survival tool with the fire starter capability. Obviously, I've got my water bladder in the camel pack, utilized for water storage. If I wanted to use it for something else, I take out the water bladder and I can help collect firewood, tinder, maybe an animal or something that I've caught, whatever. I don't know. There's a million uses for a backpack, right? So inside this, my big thing is, you know, self-sustaining, trying to have a little bit of food. So I got a few little mini Cliff Bars, probably not a big meal for someone like my size, but a few mini Cliff Bars maybe help keep you going. And if you need to save them at some point, you know, maybe utilize saving these and try to figure out what you can find from the land. And if you have to eat these, you use these. Making fire is one of my most important things. It definitely would help you keep your morale up. Fire, I mean, there's nothing like a fire at night to keep you going. You also need that obviously to prepare your food, should you catch something that you need to eat, whatever. So these are Vaseline soaked cotton balls, or in this case they're squares. Dryer lint is great. Everyone's got a dryer, or, you know, somewhere you can pull that dryer lint out. It takes a spark so easily, you can have a fire going in seconds with this stuff. It's great. But the Vaseline soaked squares are priceless. I mean, it's awesome stuff. Water purification. Got a little Visine tube here with some bleach, just Clorox bleach right off the shelf. Filled that thing up. I think it's 16 drops per gallon, 4 drops per liter, something like that. Let that stuff soak, set in for about a half an hour or so, and smell it. If it still smells bleachy, you're good to go. If it smells kind of funky still, maybe repeat that again until it smells like it's clean. I don't know if I'd want to be drinking bleach water for an extended period of time, but if you had to do an emergency with this is going to keep you away from giardia or maybe some other, you know, funky stuff in the water. So a little bit of bleach in a Visine tube. It's pretty good stuff. Old credit cards. Instead of shredding them, I don't know, if you're worried about the security deals, yeah, I say shred them, do what you do. But a couple credit cards. This one's wrapped with duct tape, probably about, I don't know, 20 feet of duct tape on this. And this one's probably got about 50 to 100 feet of thin gauge hemp cord. And that hemp cord is very lightweight and it's super, super strong. Lashings, snares, help you make your shelter if you had to. And duct tape, everyone knows you can't go wrong with duct tape. I mean, if you can't fix it with duct tape, it ain't broke, right? All right. A lighter and some wooden matches, right? I have other ways of making fire. Do I want to do that in a hurry if I don't have to? These lighter and matches weigh nothing. If I have a lighter, I'm going to use that before I use my flint steel. It's just the way it goes. I can definitely make a fire with a flint steel in a couple minutes. I think it's more important to have your fire prepared before you actually strike that lighter or strike your flint steel. Fire preparation is the most important part. Small to big. Get your tinder, dry stuff you have, small branches, twigs, up to bigger branches. Prepare all that stuff next to where you're going to build your fire. Have that stuff all lined up from small to big. So when you flip that flint steel and get the fire going, you're ready to start putting stuff on. You don't go, oh, my fire's going, now what do I do? Have all that stuff lined up from big to small. And when you think you have enough, make that 3 times bigger than what you have. So if you think you have enough fire for the night, go out and triple that. And then see what happens that night and how you need to prepare for the next night if should you be out for more than one day. But with all this stuff, I mean, it's pretty minimalistic stuff. There's not a lot to it. There's not a lot of weight to it, which I like. I don't want to be lugging around a bunch of crap if I don't have to. All my other bug out bags and stuff that I've made, I've learned over the past few trips that a lot of the stuff that I take out camping to, whether it's Bishop, Bridgeport, up to Twin Lakes, or even locally, a lot of the stuff that I take just sits in my bags. You know, it's like I'm lugging around all this weight that I'm not even using. So you figure some of the most important things you need: fire, shelter, and a way to prepare food, and water. So I've got my water, got my way to collect food, get food, snares, way to get food, my flint steel's way to make fire and purify water should I need to. Got a little bit of food in here, my Cliff Bars, some more fire stuff. All contain this little tiny unit. Very light and very easy to carry. Go out shooting, this is something that you might want to make for yourself. So minimalist kind of deal. You like? I like it. So with the help of my son, Caden, and aka Johnny Buzzkill Jr., working the camera. This is Johnny Buzzkill signing out. Hope you like my video. Thanks so much.